2. Hello everybody, welcome again to Paris, episode 108. We're in the 9th Arrondissement today. This is on the right bank, and this district of the 9th I find is really wonderful for classic French architecture. There are also a lot of addresses of the Impressionist artists, Degas and Manet and Sisley and Toulouse-Lautrec across the board. And so what you also find in the 9th that I love is these classic scenes of Parisian life playing out in the streets. It's just an area that's kind of classy and stylish, but also with a great history of art and architecture too. Parts of this area of this district used to be called the Nouvelle Athènes, or the New Athens, and I touched upon that in a previous episode where this was just a real artistic hub. We're just south of Montmartre, Pigalle, Cliche, those areas, and many of the artists lived here and worked here. So let's jump right into it. Again, if you're watching live, someone's already sent me a super chat, so that's a nice reminder. Ricky Beltran, thank you so much. If you're watching live, that's a great way to support the channel. If you're feeling the vibes here today, super chats, you can also find the link on Patreon if you're not yet a supporter there. And my PayPal info is in the description as well. And lastly, I forget to mention sometimes that I've got a merch store where you can buy t-shirts that were designed by my wife and myself, and interesting mugs and t-shirts and stuff. That's another great way to support the channel. So if you are doing any of those things, or you have done those things, then I appreciate it. And of course, you can support this project for free just by clicking like and sharing and letting people know about it. So what are we looking at here? We're in the 9th Arrondissement. We're on a little cul-de-sac, actually. We're on a dead-end street. And we have a beautiful fountain here. No one knows the exact date or the designer of this fountain, but it was the 19th century. And the location where it is the former location of a very interesting address indeed. It was called La Prison de Clichy. We are very close to the Place de Clichy here, which is over in the 18th Arrondissement, Montmartre area. And there used to be an enormous prison right here. And it used to be one of the most ridiculous ideas ever for a prison, because in the 19th century, it was very common in France to incarcerate people for having debt, for owing their creditors. And it was a rather questionable practice that was fiercely debated in the 19th century, back and forth of, is it right to physically hold somebody in a prison cell simply because they owe money to someone? And so they would have these discussions back and forth and these heated debates. And in part because putting men in prison didn't exactly help them earn money and pay off their debts. So it was a little bizarre. And to add to that, to the ridiculous nature of it, apparently it was one of the most comfortable prisons ever here, the Prison de Clichy. The cellmates had, or the prisoners had, a large garden for having strolls outside. They had a game room with billiard tables, a working cafe, a library. They could have their friends visit their cell. They could even have their favorite wine and meals delivered to their cell. Like if they want a filet mignon or some oysters or, some champagne, they could get it all delivered to their prison cell. So it was a pretty comfy way to be detained. And believe it or not, the craziest part about this prison was that guess who footed the bill for all of those amenities? It was the prisoners' creditors themselves, the people that they owed money to. So if you're a creditor and you loan someone a bunch of money and they don't pay you, it was a way in the 19th century for you to get back at them and say, you know what, I'm going to have you arrested, and even though I'm going to foot the bill for you to live a lavish lifestyle in the prison, I'd rather do that than just let you walk free. So it was very bizarre. Anyway, long story short, in the mid-19th century, France abolished this practice of incarcerating people just for having debt, and the prison was demolished, and there you go. Present day, here we are looking at this fountain. Let's get a little closer. It was called La Prison de Clichy, and I just thought that was an interesting story to start us with. Thanks, Bonnie Turbeville. I can see you in the comments there. Daniel Molden says, good news, I got the job offer yesterday. Oh, you got the job. She says, thanks to the Frites for all the good vibes and the love. Oh, I'm so happy, Danielle. And thanks, Piggy Baker. I appreciate all the support. Let's get a little bit closer here. Well done, Danielle. I had a feeling you would get that job. Beautiful lion head. Oh, my glasses are fogging up. You folks with glasses know what that's like. And that seems very dark. I don't know why, but there's a head up there, some sort of deity related to water and such. A couple of basins there. And then the basic one. Oh, this gentleman, hold on, this gentleman wants to park and I've got my bike in the way. Excusez-moi. That's how we're going to get around today, as long as it doesn't rain too much. And one last look at the fountain. There's something else at this little dead end here in the 9th Arrondissement that I can't wait to show you at our back. But before we get to that, how about this? Pretty stylish residence there. And you can kind of catch a glimpse. I don't want to be too snoopy today and be rude and pop over the gate. We won't do that today, but so there's the fountain. And then let me show you this. This is called the Hôtel Judique. It's one of those hôtels particuliers, essentially a city mansion built for a wealthy individual. It's called the Hôtel Judique, named after a 19th century French performer named Anna Judique. She was famous for her stage work. Look at this door. We're going to zoom in on the door. Anna Judique was famous for her stage work, particularly a style of performance that were called les bouffes parisiens, if you've heard of those before. And they were sort of like an every man's workaday opera with comedy and satire and music, parody and whatnot. And she was one of the big stars of that. So in the 1880s, at the height of her popularity, Judique earned over 1 million francs in a year. And no surprise, at that time is when she decided to build this home, this hôtel particulier in the 9th Arrondissement. She's like, hey, if I made 1 million francs this year, I'm gonna enjoy it. Damn it. Look at that balcony. And then I don't know if you can make it out, but above it is a huge stained glass window. And it's hard to make it out on this side. I'm sure inside you can see it much better. But it represents this stained glass. It's the meeting of Antony and Cleopatra. And it's inspired apparently by a fresco in Venice. Ooh, there's a woman entering this building, but we're going to be polite and we're not going to chase her inside. Look at this. Hope that's coming through for you. While we're here, let's scroll our way up. Look at this balcony. Oh my goodness. Whew. So this is the Hôtel Judique. It's spelled Judic. That was the name of the lady. So there's the Cleopatra stained glass. So yeah, inspired by a fresco in Venice by Tiepolo. Oh, come on, equipment, you can do it. There we go. So give this a good once over. The lamps are just, oof. It's beautiful when the doors are dark like this. So we like to take our time, don't we? Squeeze as much juice out of these details as we can. And then back to our transportation for the day and the fountain. Let's fire up the old steed. Allons-y, c'est parti, on y va. Look at this beautiful little dead-end street. I'll show you the name as we make our way to the entrance of it. Not to be forgotten in all the splendor of the Hôtel Judique is that little doorway there. Man, I love a good lion. Oh, thank you so much, Isabel Rooney. Huge support there in the comments. I very much appreciate that, Isabel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very happy to be with you in Paris today. So we just had a rainstorm come through, and maybe it's good for all of you. It's not good for me because I got soaking wet, but for all of you, the streets are glistening a bit, and the architecture somehow seems to brighten up just after a rainstorm when the sun comes out a bit. Danielle says, as always, a stunning street. I know, Danielle, and there are so many of them. Paris could literally have, let's say, 25% of these beautiful streets, and I would still think it was an amazing city, right? Even if it was like 20% of this beauty was here, I would still call this an incredible place. But the fact that it's just endless, it goes on and on, never ceases to impress me. Look at this coming up here on the right. If I remember correctly, these two buildings on either side of us, to the right and the left as we leave, were the same architect as the fancy Hôtel Judique that we saw. And you can see glimpses of that too in the consoles. Remember we talked during the Always Look Up tour, we talked about these things here supporting the balconies are known as consoles. Thanks, Linda Davis, for the support in the comments. You can see that. And this is what the other side looks like above a bakery. Maybe just for fun, one last look down the... So this is the Rue Cardinal Mercier. Cardinal Mercier. Minus the recycling bins on the side there and whatnot. Next up, we've got another little dead end. A beautiful entrance as we wait for the cars to go by. You can see the name there, Cité Monté. And we're lucky the door's open for us. Before we enter, we'll zoom in a little bit up top here. Got a lovely couple with their child. Again, I think my memory serves me where the Montier family is what we see here, a husband and wife who were in the arts. And I assume that's their child. I'm pretty sure they didn't grab another child to pose for this. If you're just joining live, this is the 9th Arrondissement. We're taking a bike ride just after a rainstorm. And this is, look at that Art Nouveau inspiration there. Oh, that's just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Cité Monté. And there's a theater tucked away in here as well. Here's the theater. It's called the Théâtre de l'Œuvre. '19th century. You can see some colored glass up there. Randy says, so happy to be back in Paris. Oh, she said, Paris, yeah. I hear you, Paris. Let's see what else is on this little This little impasse. Cute little staircase in the corner there. I would say the 9th Arrondissement has a very good combination of sort of that frenetic energy, almost like a boulevard type energy, but then all of the very, very quiet offshoots like this. Let me get over to the side because there's something I haven't showed you yet. Or haven't shown you yet. Thank you, ED, for the support in the comments there. ED says, bonjour frites, don't forget to like the video. Merci, Corey. Oh, thank you, Angela Johnson. So generous. She says, so good to see you, Corey. Oh, I'm really feeling the love in the comments, folks. Thank you so much. If I do happen to miss your super chat and I don't acknowledge it, it's only because I'm trying to get in as many details as possible. Laura Poffenberger says, very quiet. You just really get your money's worth for the architecture around here. These districts of the 9th were, these sections were getting built at a time when there was a very, what's the best way to put it? It was almost a pressure for architects to really show their stuff, and show off. Trying to get over a bump, okay. And it just happened to be one of those booms where everybody who had a home built needed to outdo the previous guy or gal. Thank you, Meg Lindley. Appreciate the support there. Janet says, thanks for doing this. Beth says, wish we were there with you. One day, Beth, one day. We'll get there. Look at this door here. I don't know if we caught that the first time. It reminds me of like a chocolate flourish you would eat on a cake. On a wedding cake or something. So that's the Théâtre de l'Œuvre, and you can see the word there, l'œuvre. If you don't know, that's the French word for a work, like an artwork. The French say masterpiece by using the term chef-d'œuvre. And this ironwork is stupendous. Let's use stupendous today as an adjective. Oh, the glasses are very much fogging up today. That's a drag. Oh man, someone take a snapshot of that. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Wow, let's be honest, this is better than TV. You could just sit right here and watch that world play out in front of you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh. I'm being selfish. I don't want to leave because I enjoy this view so much. Laura says, love the ironwork. Corinne Mateo says superb. I like that adjective too. So we'll use stupendous and superb today. Oh, look at this kid with a dog. Kind of freaked out, but super curious, which is how every kid that age reacts to a dog. Adorable. So we're on the Rue de Cliche, just south of Clichy, in the Montmartre area. Thank you, Liz, for the super chat. Appreciate that. I'm gonna go nice and slow. Careful, guy. Go around this car. Speaking of dogs, this person wants to go exactly where I want to go. Let me get on the sidewalk here. Okay, I wanted to show you this. More door action here. You know, every now and then these doors just turn into straight up door tours, especially in the 9th. I think in the future in this arrondissement I'll also do another always look up tour, because those are fun and this is a neighborhood that's very good for that. So we're gonna head here on the Rue Monté. Allez, allez, allez. Get a nice color of a door there. Thank you, Ginny. She says your tours are stupendous, Corey. Yes. Extra points, Ginny, for the use of stupendous. Well done. I gotta temporarily park myself here to show you an address. Number 17 Rue Monté. Or Rue de Monté. Right here, number 17. Remember when I did it? Let me get that out of the shot. That thing's gross on the right side there. A lot of construction happening around here. So do you remember when I did the where they painted at Gare Saint-Lazare? I can't remember which number it was, but that was a fun episode. And we talked about Monet coming to paint the Gare Saint-Lazare train station and doing all these beautiful canvases of the steam and the smoke from the trains and whatnot in the station. Well, when he was doing that, he wasn't living in Paris. He didn't have a home here. So he had to rent a place, and he couldn't afford to rent an apartment. But remember his buddy Caillebotte, who, of course, we loved Caillebotte. He was a great painter in his own right and also a very, very close friend of the Impressionists and a supporter. Caillebotte rented out a room on the ground floor here at number 17 and allowed Monet to stay there. So basically paid for Monet to have a pied-à-terre or a temporary apartment in Paris so he could paint the Gare Saint-Lazare. I think that's really great. And every time I hear another story about Caillebotte, I say to myself, I just like him more and more, you know, because really the Impressionists couldn't have supported themselves and couldn't have done their work quite the same way had it not been for Gustave Caillebotte. So that was where Monet stayed. Every few months, Caillebotte would send him a bunch of money, would send Monet the money to pay his rent. Also, if you're familiar with another Impressionist by the name of Cliche, Cliche lived here at number 15 in 1866. Hey, David Dubois, I can see you there. So we're going to head down there. And here to the left, there's a little entrance into another quiet, private, secluded little spot. If I could ever do this one day without the mask and the foggy glasses, that would be a good day indeed. As if this process isn't complicated enough. All right, we're going to turn down here. This is called the Square Monté. But before we head down there, we're going to turn around because at the opening of this street, pretty decent little building. Can't even read your comments, my glasses. This weather is not conducive to mask wearing. Wait, do you see those lion faces there? Just absolutely superb. So that was Rue Moncy, and now we're on to Square Moncy, or Moncy Square. To be honest, I don't know if it's pronounced Moncy or Moncy. Take your pick. And this is sort of, if you were looking from a bird's eye view, it's in the shape of a cross or a crucifix, or a plus sign rather. And so it's all dead ends here, but makes for a very quiet, secluded, and classy community. Every now and then, film crews will come and make film movies here because it's so secluded and safe to film. The great French novelist Émile Zola lived here somewhere. I couldn't find a plaque to find out exactly which address. I'm sure the internet knows. But it's so secluded, it might as well be a gated community. So like I said, it's in the shape of a plus sign with just that one access to the rest of the city, the one street. Here I noticed, by the way, that I don't know if you'll make that out. Beautiful ironwork there. But they have there's like a little bench. Let's see. I don't know how nosy I want to be. Maybe we'll just be a little bit nosy, not a lot. Just a tiny bit. I just want to give you a glimpse. And I can't see my screen, so I'm going to trust that you can. Anyway, pretty nice, isn't it? Still have tons of stuff to show you. That's why I had to do this one on a bike. I don't know about you, but today I've got Peter Cetera song stuck in my head. I love me some Peter Cetera, and it's just been on a loop. So if I start busting out some of it today, you'll forgive me because I just got it. What do they call that? An earworm or something when you've got a song stuck in your head? Any other Peter Cetera fans out there? You're my new best friends because I think he's hugely underrated. Danielle says Peter Cetera or Chicago. Honestly, both, but the solo stuff I really love. But both are great. Sorry, I'm trying to. Guess it's not going to work. Christina says, "What a voice! He's a legend." Laura says, "Sing it, Corey." Oh, look at this. I don't know, something about this green car speaks to me with the yellow. Let's go. Let me get situated here.
What else are you guys reading?
I'm so in love with you, I just can't deny it. Everybody knows I can't deny it. Everybody knows. You can read me like a book, just like a fortune teller. Okay, hold on. I want to show you this door here. Oh, my sister's here. I can't believe I sang when my sister was here. How embarrassing. What do I want to show you here? Ah, my glasses. Oh, sorry, I keep complaining about that, but it's already hard enough to do this. Oh, check this out. Yes, please. Look at this. Look at this door. Look at that color. This is hashtag no filter, people. This is a real deal. If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, no, baby, please don't go. I can't sing with the mask, sorry. You just have to accept that it's not ideal conditions for singing. A love like ours is love that's hard to find. How could we let it slip away? Oh, thanks, Ellen. She says, tour simplement superbe. Oh, did you make that out here? I missed that earlier. Look at this. Oh, yes. Next time I fall in love, I know better what to do. Next time I fall in love, ooh, the next time I fall. Oh, I'm losing the key. Sorry, I gotta focus on, I can't do both, folks. Next time I fall in love, it will be with you. Okay, so we're gonna go up the street, but first, again, sometimes when these streets will intersect, or what's the word, are perpendicular with another street, right at the point where the street that we're on here hits this street perpendicular, very often they'll put an extra fancy facade here, and that's certainly the case. Who will fight for your honor? I'll be the hero you're dreaming of. We'll live forever, knowing together that we did it all for the glory of Paris. That was the last one, promise. Margaret says these doors are just incredible. Ah, Phyllis says fabulous doors and fabulous singing. That's so nice. I don't think any real singer would ever try to do it while they're biking one-handed around Paris with a mask. So I must really like you all. I must feel comfortable with you. Because there's no way you can sing your best in these conditions, but I'm having fun. Thanks, James. He says, bravo. Appreciate that support. Let's continue up the street. If you've learned much about Picasso, you know one of his very best friends was a poet and playwright named Guillaume Apollinaire. And they were really joined at the hip. They were really BFFs. And this is where Apollinaire had his very first Parisian apartment in 1907. It also happens to be very close to, how many of you know which museum we're next to? That right there in the center of your screen is the Musée de la Vie Romantique. So that's the neck of the woods we're in. We're coming up on a beautiful, you see that little piece of iron sticking out at the top there? That was for the pulley system to get heavy items up through the window rather than lugging them up the stairs. Those are very rare to still see in Paris, but they used to be everywhere. You know, if you're trying to get coal or wood or water or whatever it may be upstairs through the window. Ooh, all right. Let's do the old pop through technique. Oops. I'm sure there's a story behind this place. I don't happen to know it though. We'll just have to use our imagination. But it's certainly indicative of what you'll find in the 9th Arrondissement. You know what? I bet, looking at this and the shape of it, I bet this was the stables. You'd pop the carriage in there, the coach on the left, and keep the horses in there for short. Faux show. Thanks, Lori, for the support there in the comments. Deborah says, what about Peter and Cher's duet? I forget which song that was. Someone can remind me. So it's closed, but that's the Musée de la Vie Romantique. There was an artist called Ary Scheffer who lived here and would invite all of his illustrious friends to have dinner party. So it would be Chopin and Liszt and Georges Sand and Dickens. And on and on. Great little museum if you haven't been there. Here's another little impasse. In fact, I could have called this the sort of the cul-de-sac tour. This is another theater. So I guess you could argue that the 9th Arrondissement is a big theater district as far as smaller independent theaters. But yeah, boy, does this color pop. Oh, wow. Yeah, Keith says so much street work going on. Yeah, Keith. I have to, I'll be honest, it hurts me to say this, but this is not Paris at its most beautiful right now for several reasons, as you can imagine. With everything being shut down and no cafe culture on the streets, and it's pretty rough. A lot of construction. But it'll get pretty again. I'm confident of that. This is called the Cité Chaptal. Check out the sculpted elements here on the side. Let me zoom in. We've got a lot of rams and then occasionally a woman's head. And the doorway. Hold up. Look at that. Oh, yes. Stupendous. Now the door is open. Someone's exiting right now. And if they exit and the door stays open, we're going to go in. So pause, talk amongst yourselves. Yep, okay, we're going to go in. Looks like this is an entrance to a bibliothèque, actually. One more time, let's take a look at the entrance. I have no idea what's beyond these doors, haven't been here before. There's another guy coming out. Let him pass by. Voila. Here we go. I like it so far. Nice. Oh yeah, look what's back here. Oh la la. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Lovely. I think there's a daycare here, so I got to be careful what I film. So we won't stay long. I'll just give you the quick pan and then we'll get out of here. That's a heck of a daycare. Can you imagine dropping your kids off at that? Whew. All right. I don't want to film these kids. I feel bad. But that would be my daycare of choice if I lived here. I can imagine the parents complaining later, like, some guy came in on a bike and he was filming us and singing Peter Cetera tunes. All right, onward. Oh, here's a door. Sorry, abrupt stop there. I love those little balustrades. Oh yeah. Tasty. Tasty delights. Thanks, Heather, for the support there in the comments. Appreciate that. Look at this little, it's the Boucherie Chaptal. little butcher shop. Oh. Okay. Getting a good core workout today. Look how adorable this place is here. It's called, it says brocante meaning flea market. But it also just means that it's a certain style of antique store. But I just thought this was adorable. Let's get a little bit closer. Kickstand it.
Toi, la menteuse du
Heather says my kind of store. Laura says let's go shopping. Yeah, this is great. This is a very photogenic spot, isn't it? Objet de charme insolite. So objects of charm, and insolite is a common word for things that are very rare and hard to come by and the sort of secret. I love the little toadstool there. Oh, while we're here, let me show you this too. The color of that door, stupendous. Oh, good looking French guy for some of you ladies there. Look at this. Get a little bit closer. Wait, I love you, sir. I love you. Wait. Christina says, bonjour, monsieur. I know, some of you ladies want to place your order. You'd pay for it, though. I mean, I would charge you very dearly for that kind of service, let me tell you. There's a certain word for that kind of service. Oof. Hold on, let's zoom in because I actually didn't catch earlier the faces. This is just beautiful. I can hear some faint church bells in the background. And then look what's going on here with the very subtle, low relief carvings. All around. So good, so good, so good. Okay, we got to keep going because there's actually some really cool stuff on this street. Ah! Oh. I know I make a lot of involuntary noises, but this is a heavy bike. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we've got a series of courtyards and ironwork. It's amazing. That's a bibliothèque. And I'm in the middle of the street. Look at these very subtle reliefs here. Oh my goodness. Stupendous. Oh, look at that. And that's not all, because there seems to be a series of courtyards here. One there, some lovely brick. Look at this one. Look at this gate. Oh yeah, we got to get off the bike for this one. Let the kids pass. Okay. Hopefully, can I get? Yeah, there we go. Oh yes. What? Hold up. I got to kickstand it. Kickstand my heart. I can sing some Motley Crue tunes as well. Okay, so I can't give you an awesome perspective, but this gives you the idea. Peggy says splendicious. So good, so good. I just saw a sign that said founded in 1777. There's not a single spot where I can. This might work. There's like a circular thing. There we go. Delish. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, let me get on the other side. There's so much to show. Il y a tellement de choses à montrer. Splendicioso. Man, I love the Ninth Arrondissement. Oof. There's another one here to the left. Look at, you can tell something's going on over there. Oh yeah. Somehow the Ninth Arrondissement, even though it's relatively close to the center of Paris, has this feeling of these rather sprawling, almost country-style homes. It's really kind of a paradox, considering this is also a real hustle and bustle type of neighborhood. That's nice. Peggy says 263 watching avec plaisir. Moi aussi, ça me fait plaisir. Et ça aussi, de l'autre côté de la rue, ça me fait plaisir aussi. Oh là là, c'est magnifique. Pas possible. Attendez, on va regarder l'escalier. de l'entrée. C'est impressionnant. Regardez ça. Je mets mon vélo, voilà. Oh là là. Ça, c'est un escalier pas possible. Est-ce que je peux faire mon truc là? Fais glisser. Voilà. And Danielle says, I'm so happy I can understand what Corey is saying. Bravo, Danielle. Je te félicite. Wow. Incredible. So much money in this area there. This is all the 19th century boom. Just incredible. Alors, on a d'autres choses à voir. Par exemple, une adresse de Degas. Et une porte vraiment pas comme les autres. Regarde ça, 23 of the street. Look at this. Moi, non. Non, j'admire les détails, c'est tout. Non, il n'y a pas de souci.
Regardez là-haut, c'est très beau là.
Ah oui, en briques. Ah oui, j'adore.
En fait, c'est la rue des droits d'auteur.
Les droits d'auteur, oui, j'ai vu la
plaque. Les droits
Oui.
d'auteur.
Mhm.
Là, avant, c'était l'ancien bâtiment de la SACEM.
D'accord.
Et ça a été transformé en hôtel il y a 3 ans, 3-4 ans. Donc voilà,
super.
l'hôtel maintenant a pris les deux.
D'accord. Ah oui, il y a tellement de bâtiments magnifiques
Oui,
dans ces
oui.
rues.
Il y a beaucoup de bâtiments où vous allez trouver des sigles de ce qu'on appelle la franc-maçonnerie.
Ah oui, d'accord.
D'accord. Par exemple, vous
Oui.
voyez là-bas,
Oui,
au-dessus du 32,
oui, je vois. Mhm.
vous voyez, il y a comme un vitrail.
D'accord, oui, je vois.
Et vous voyez, il y a des pyramides,
Ah,
des
d'accord.
soleils, ça c'est des sigles francs-maçons.
Ah, d'accord.
Là, vous trouvez, il y a normalement quelque part, il y a des
Mhm.
sigles de, comment on appelle ça, le compas.
D'accord.
Quand il y a des dessinateurs, un compas, vous savez, c'est
Ah
pour
oui, le
faire des
compas,
ronds.
oui. Ça,
Le
c'est aussi
compas,
les.
la
Oui.
taille, c'est des
C'est un
sigles
symbole des
des
maçons.
francs-maçons, voilà. Donc sur beaucoup d'endroits dans
Freemason.
cette rue, vous trouvez des
Mhm.
sigles francs-maçons.
D'accord.
Il faut les chercher et
Ah,
vous les trouvez.
c'est un peu mystérieux, j'aime bien.
Exactement.
Quelle aventure.
Quelle aventure. Non mais c'est très joli.
Je vous remercie pour les infos.
Voilà. Et ça, moi je travaille dans cet immeuble.
Ah, vous travaillez là.
Oui. Voilà.
Magnifique.
Et en fait, ce bâtiment,
Mhm.
les 3 petits pavillons qui sont devant
Oui.
sont de la fin du 19e.
D'accord.
Par contre, l'immeuble qui ressemble
Oui.
derrière,
Mhm.
et ben lui, il a été construit il y a 30 ou 40 ans.
C'est vrai. Ah,
Mais selon les monuments historiques,
Mhm.
ont imposé qu'on le fasse ressemblant au
ah
bâtiment.
c'est bon à savoir.
Voilà.
Merci.
Ben, je vous en prie, bonne balade. Hein.
Bah, merci beaucoup. Bonne journée à vous. Bon week-end. So she was telling me she works there, and these 3 pavilions here are original. But that beautiful palace that we were looking at with the staircase was built only like, she said 30, 40 years ago. But it was in the style of imitating the period. She also said there are a lot of Freemason symbols around here. So she said keep an eye out for that. Pyramids and compasses and things like that. So there's one of those classically rude Parisians for you. Crossing the street intentionally just to give us some extra facts. Okay, so this door, I gotta actually back up so you can see it properly. Maybe I'll leave my bike there. Sorry, it feels like it's actually becoming a busy street. Something like that, just spectacular. So Degas lived here in the 1890s, 1890 to 97. So a long, long stay for Degas. This was during part of the period of his amazing ballerina paintings and all of those gorgeous pastels. And this is one heck of a door. Look at this. I assume a lantern was here. Oh my goodness. It's just fascinating. Oh. Thanks, Ellen Frye. She says, stupendous singing tour guide. Bravo, merci. So this is a villa. It's called the Villa Balloux. Balloux, oui. But I can't really... Oh, come on, camera. There you go. You get an idea. It's a gated little alley, residential alleyway. Karen says, oh, the balcony. This is the name of this little alley, the Villa Balloux. And we happen to be on the Rue. Yeah, speaking of the balcony, oh. I guess some guys walk through Paris looking for other types of curves on the street, if you know what I mean. But this is what gets me going. This is what gets me hot and bothered. Well, that and Peter Cetera. Like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago. Just in time I would save the day. Take you to my castle far away. Oh, I lost the key there, sorry. I'm not paying attention. So that stained glass up there has pyramids. And she was telling me that that's Freemason symbolism. I feel like I need to redeem myself for that bad singing performance that I just laid out for you. Ooh, look at these. Hold on, I gotta get out of the street. Everywhere I look. Everywhere you look. Wasn't that the theme song for Full House? When you're lost out there and you're all alone. Look at this. Remember the word? This is a pop quiz. Remember the name of those things holding up the balconies? Consoles. Absolument magnifique. Incroyable. Stupéfiant. And I have to, at this point, be careful of getting home before the curfew because we've run over an hour now. Thanks everybody for those of you who have stuck around for the whole thing. Look at these little portals. Okay. It's getting dark too. I feel like it's probably going to rain again. So. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, look at that little, very little subtle detail right there above the arch. Okay, one last thing before it rains on me. It is a door here. Interesting. Just when you think you've seen it all. Oh, I can feel the drops. So I wanted to finish here at this square, which is named for the composer Hector Berlioz. I don't really know how to pronounce his name well, sorry. But this is a nice little square. Let me zoom back out for you. Look at this. As you can see, the color has changed and we're about to get rained on. Just right here, this building here is where the great painter Vuillard, you know, there was Bonnard and Vuillard. I really, really loved those guys' work. And he lived there with his mom until he passed away. And Vuillard painted some of his paintings from those windows. It's this yellowish building here right there. From his windows of this square and the park that you see here. He was there in the 1920s until the 40s. Oh boy, it's really darkening up. So let's just take a quick little stroll around this cool park. This is just 2 minutes from Place Blanche and Cliche and the Moulin Rouge, just a little bit south, but you wouldn't really know it because it feels very clean and classy and quiet. Thanks, Tara. She says, I can't read because my glasses fogging up. She says something. 4 years ago, we were in Montmartre with you. Can't wait to do it again. Merci, Frye. Look at that color. That's nice, even with the gray skies. Oh, beautiful. Oh, and the lady comes through with the red mask. Oh, and this lady with the red bag. Thanks, ladies. Thanks for that composition. Yep. So yeah, if you're ever in Montmartre in the Moulin Rouge area, feel free to pop down a block or so south to this little square. A lot of families and a very cool vibe. And then look at this place here, particularly on the right, and I think we'll finish with this. First of all, the gate. Always check the gate first. It's raining for real now, so this is going to be the last thing, I think. This ties in with what I was saying about how somehow you get these glimpses of country-style homes, even though we're in a very busy part of... Oh, look, their ball just got kicked through the gate. Oh, nice. They lost their ball. Poor kids. So back to the view here. Look at that glass canopy. Oh. Okay, folks, I think we're going to end it here because I'm going to have a very wet ride home, apparently, and the curfew is approaching. So I want to thank you so much. Tremendous support today. And again, if you're not yet a Patreon and you want to help support this project, you can find that link in the description. You can find my PayPal info to send a one-time donation, or you can buy some merch on my store, or you can just let people know about this project and come back next week. That is equally as valuable, believe me. So I really appreciate the support and the enthusiasm and the appreciation for this project. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this. You know I like to drag out the goodbyes, but I really think I'm going to get dumped on with rain, and I got a long ride home. So I'm going to take off. There's no cafe chat because of the curfew, but we'll get back into that one of these days. And thanks for your continued support. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, everybody, if you can't bring yourself to Paris, in fact, of course you can't bring yourself to Paris right now, I'm going to do my best to bring it to you. So have a good one, and I'll catch you on episode 109. See you later.